If you're a dog owner in Buffalo, you already know what a great city this is for you and your pup. So this is all about helping you find a fantastic trainer who can get your dog ready for literally everything Buffalo has to offer.
And this is so true, right? Real training isn't just about nailing commands in your living room. It's about getting your dog prepared for the real world, for all the situations you're actually going to run into every single day right here in Buffalo.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with why knowing Buffalo is a huge deal for a trainer. Then we'll figure out what your dog actually needs. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of picking the right person, talk about what you can expect to pay, and wrap up with some local rules and great spots to practice.
Okay, first up, why does a trainer's local knowledge matter so much? Well, someone who really gets Buffalo can make a world of difference in how well your dog handles our, let's say, unique city environment.
Just think about your day-to-day. You want your dog to be cool and collected, walking through a crowded Elmwood village, right? Or maybe just chill on a patio in Allentown. A good training plan is going to tackle these real-life scenarios, from cyclists whizzing by at the outer harbor to all that game day energy.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about your dog. Before you even start Googling trainers, it helps so much to have a clear idea of what you're trying to accomplish. It'll make your search way more effective.
So the very first question to ask yourself is, what do I actually want to get out of this? Are we talking about basic manners, like a solid sit and stay? Or is there something more specific, like maybe they go wild barking at the window, or they're constantly pulling on the leash?
Your goals will really point you in the right direction. Basic obedience is for building those core skills. Puppy training is all about setting up a great foundation from the start. Behavior modification, that's for tackling some of the tougher stuff like fear or reactivity. And, of course, there's specialized training for service or therapy work.
Now, let's think about where the training happens. In-home training is perfect for working on issues right where they occur, like chaos at the front door. On the flip side, group classes are fantastic for getting your dog used to focusing with other dogs and people around, which is perfect prep for those busy public spaces.
Okay, now for the big one. How do you actually choose the right professional? Taking a few key steps here will really help you find someone who's a perfect match for you and your dog.
Here are some of the most important things to check. First, you want to look for trainers who use positive reinforcement. Second, see what their qualifications are. And third, if you're thinking about training in public parks, it's a good idea to ask if they have the right permits.
So what exactly is positive reinforcement? Well, it's pretty simple. It's a way of training that rewards the behavior you want to see. It's not just effective, it really builds up your dog's confidence and makes your bond with them even stronger, which is what it's all about.
A trainer's credentials can tell you a lot. For general training, things like CPDTKA or KPA-CTP are great signs. If you're dealing with more complex behavior issues, certifications like IAABC-DBC or CTC mean they've got a higher level of specialized knowledge.
So, when you're talking to a potential trainer, have a few questions ready to go. You'll want to ask about their methods, their credentials, and for sure ask how they'll help you practice in real Buffalo spots. It's also smart to ask what their packages include and if they're open to working with your vet if that's needed.
All right, let's get practical and talk about the budget. Having an idea of the typical costs for training services here in Buffalo can really help you plan everything out.
So, the numbers you're about to see are averages for Buffalo and Erie County for 2025. Just remember, prices can definitely change depending on a trainer's experience and exactly what you're looking for. As you can see, a group class for puppies or basic obedience is going to run you somewhere between about $140 and $300 for a few weeks. Private, one-on-one sessions are usually in that $90 to $160 range. And then the more intensive options, like in-home packages or board and train programs, they've got a much wider price range because it's a much higher level of service.
Okay, in our last section, we're going to cover a few local rules that every dog owner in Buffalo should know, plus some really awesome local spots where you can take all this new training out for a spin.
It's always good to know the local rules. Here in Buffalo, your dog has to be on a leash that's 6 feet or shorter in public, unless you're in a designated dog park. Pups over 4 months old need to be licensed with the city. And of course, New York State requires all dogs to have a current rabies vaccination.
And Buffalo has some fantastic spots for you and your dog. You've got fenced-in dog parks like the Barkyard and Ellicott Island, which are perfect for practicing recall safely. And if you want to work on loose-leash walking with some distractions, the Ring Road in Delaware Park or the walkways at Canalside are absolutely perfect. And really, that brings us right back to the main point of all this. The goal is to set your dog up for success out there in the real world, so every walk and every outing is a fun, positive experience instead of a stressful one.
In the end, putting the time into good training really does more than just solve a few problems. It opens up your world. A confident, well-behaved dog can come with you on so many more adventures, and that just makes your life together here in Buffalo that much better. We wish you all the best on your training journey.